I'm embarrassed I owned it.
I owned one. I don't even think it was a DVD. I think it was a VHS.
Mine was a VHS.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know we have at least 40% of our listeners know who this woman is. Blue balls, loopholes, fill your holes, and glory holes. All this week on Inappropriate with Jim and Steve. Inappropriate with Jim and Steve. Welcome back to another episode of Inappropriate. I'm Jim.
I am Steven.
And before we get anywhere in this podcast, today is July 12th. So I have to say happy anniversary to my wife. And she occasionally listens. So
She'll listen to this one.
she might listen to this one.
Happy anniversary, Jim and Jim's wife.
Yes.
I don't know if we ever say her name.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No. So
I'll play it safe.
Maybe one day I'll get her on this podcast. So how was your 4th of July?
It was great.
Do you watch all the good funny fireworks? And
Yeah, fireworks are fine.
yeah, I'm a little over fireworks.
I hate it because there's the build-up for fireworks, like all the way up into 4th of July. Like everyone in your neighborhood feels like it's their job to put on a firework display.
Yes.
I do get a little pumped when you see the finale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people. Know what bugs the shit out of me though with fireworks? How people record them.
I've said this so many times to my wife. I can't stand when people record fireworks.
Yeah, I think it's the
It
fucking
blows my fucking mind.
You're watching it on your phone.
And I know half of the people listening probably have a fireworks video on their phone right now.
Yeah, and
probably
think
from
about
last
that.
week.
Think about that right now. That you have a firework video and you're never gonna watch that video again.
Well, one, fireworks are only good live. So
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
to you feel the booms, you see them, the actual size of the firework is the oohs, the ahs. So the fact that you're recording it, you're missing out on that in real time because you're looking at your phone to make sure you capture it. It always looks shitty.
Yeah,
They never look good.
I know. So fucking great. Looks like
It's
an alien
grainy,
video.
It's got two little sparks on it. You don't get the sound, and you never watch it.
So you just wasted 20 minutes of celebrating America.
Can we just officially put an end to recording fireworks?
I agree. I have a big thing about living life. Like I don't like to record things. I just like to be in the moment. And
that's a big thing with today's society is that people just are kind of pre-programmed now to you have to record it because if you don't post it, did it ever really happen?
Yeah. The other week there were a whole bunch of police in the town I live the town I live in, Essex. I don't know why I was just beating around the bush about fucking just saying Essex, Maryland. It's a shitty little redneck town. But there was a woman getting robbed on the street. Cars are just driving by, and the dude straight plain daylight pulls a gun on her, steals her wallet, takes everything out of her wallet, throws the purse across the street. She has like a shopping cart with stuff like groceries in it. He takes the fucking shopping cart from her and then makes her like run away and starts shooting the gun in the air.
Holy shit.
Yeah, then runs behind the building, is back there just shooting the gun up in the air like he's fucking
like what's that cartoon character?
Yeah, Yosemite Sam. Yeah, he's just shooting it up in the air. And the reason I know this is because there was a guy across the street just recording it. No one calls the cops. He's just recording it. You can hear in the background someone's like,
"Oh God,
did you call the cops?" He's like, "Nah, I'm just getting it on. I'm just recording it." No,
World
I
Star!
didn't. Yeah. Never want to fucking help anybody, but they were just fucking.
Nope, nobody wants to get involved.
Not living life. They're not living life.
Everybody is an observer.
Yep.
And that's it. Like, let me record it. And everyone feels safe from their couch or whatever viewing of robbery, an armed robbery in progress, and like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Now I will say that living the moment. I wouldn't have went over there.
Well, I mean, there's living in the moment, and there's also you have to be smart about it. Living in the moment would be possibly you just say, hey, scare him away, and as you're dialing 911,
because guaranteed across the street, if he tried to shoot the gun, there's too many cars driving by, and he. He fucking was holding that gun like Brad Pitt in Seven. So, it's to the side. That shit wasn't. I was like, I was safe. Yeah, it wasn't Bradley Cooper and the sniper over there.
Right,
It was
right.
some guy with a fucking handgun. I think they ended up catching him anyway.
Of course.
So,
Of course.
yeah.
And then they probably let him go the next day.
Probably, fucking crazy. But yes, live in the moment. Put your phone down.
Put your goddamn phone down. Watch
Except
the
if you're
fireworks.
listening to our podcast. You don't even need to have that in your hand.
Yeah, just love to. I would be interested to know for our podcast listeners where they listen to it. Do they listen to Alexa as they're doing like housework? Do they listen to it when they're headphones, or do they put like as they're at work, or do are they listening to it in their car, or is it just a speaker that they're playing at work and anybody walking by can hear us? Like I would really be interested to know.
One of our newer listeners, his name's Tyler. He works with me. And when he listens to an episode and he thinks it's funny, he like runs over to my cube. He's like, "Hey, I just heard this thing." So Tyler, you're going to listen to this thing.
Well, that's
So
good.
Thanks for listening, buddy.
You get instant feedback.
Yeah, I get instant feedback. So
Tyler, crank it up.
yeah, I know. Just take it off. Let everybody around you hear it.
Yeah,
So.
let's just let it marinate throughout the air.
Yeah.
Let everybody else.
He's always
get
got
in a
his
good
ear.
mood.
He puts the one ear pod in so that
Oh, you need to listen to us in stereo. God damn it! None of this one ear shit. Go full throttle.
I know. Go all in or don't go. Well, no,
Oh, no,
keep
no,
it in.
you go, okay, fine, half-ass it.
Yeah, you can half-ass it if you want. It's cool, but dude. And then know what else is awesome too. You and I are going to be down the beach.
Oh yes, we're definitely going to record on the beach.
Yeah, we are. We're going to be down the beach at the same time. So
Yep.
that
We're going to crank out a couple episodes there. So who knows? We might have a surprise episode.
yes,
And we might go back to
And
back.
if you go back and listen to the beach episode, we were pounding beers pretty.
Oh yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
right. Last summer when we did 3 in a row, and by the third one we were pretty shit faced.
Yeah, we were pretty shit faced in it. That's why I kept leaving your refrigerator open.
Those 3 episodes, we had so many good jokes.
We definitely had so many good jokes in that episode.
Speaking of jokes, Ted, did you hear about this 21-year-old law student?
No.
Because there's a billion of them.
Yeah.
Jordan Haber.
No, I haven't.
So he had a joke amongst his friends. He wanted to become eligible for the NBA draft. And that, like in and of itself, doesn't seem
yeah.
very noteworthy.
A lot of people want to get in the draft.
The thing is, the 21-year-old law student from Florida has never played a single game of college, high school, or even middle school basketball.
Well, therein lies the problem right there.
But he'll be heading to Barclays Center in Brooklyn on Thursday to take part of the annual draft. How did this happen, you may ask?
Yeah.
Well, it started out with a joke between friends, and it kind of became serious. He realized that to become eligible for the NBA draft, there's like a lot of little things you have to, like little basic like check boxes. You have to do this or have this done or whatever. And he realized that he met somehow all
The requirements?
And I guess one of the requirements isn't the fact that you have to play basketball. And he sent an email over to the NBA, and they got back to him right away, and they sent over the paperwork. He filled it out. And so now this kid is eligible for the NBA draft.
That's ridiculous. Like, how do you find that shit out? Like,
Well, he's a law student, so I mean, I guess,
I guess he would know.
And here's his quote from Jordan Haber. I want to show people that you can do anything if you just set your mind to it.
His boys must be fucking laughing their ass off thinking about that.
Here's first and foremost, good for him, I guess.
Yeah.
Found a loophole, started off as a joke, and he followed through with it. I commend Jordan Haber for that. But does this not open up the door for other idiots? Like the NBA draft is going to be packed full of idiots.
Yeah, they're gonna have to change after this. They're gonna have to change. They have to change the rule that you have to put.
It's amazing that they would allow it, but I guess if you find a loophole,
they probably it's been in place, and then like I would never think that I could go into the NBA draft, like
you would assume that you would be playing college ball.
Yes.
So why would you have to put that as maybe one of the
that would
that
be
eligible?
the one that I thought that like, or some, because people come out of high school, but I always thought you had to be invited to the draft.
I don't know.
You can make yourself eligible. Well, I guess he did.
Yeah.
He made himself eligible and they accepted him because he
as long as you met all the requirements.
Yeah. That's fucking so crazy that you could do something like that. Can't you do that with being a president? Like, as long as you're like 35 and an American
because
citizen.
There's some wackos that run for president. They don't make it past the primaries.
Yeah.
Because it takes so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it takes so much money to run for president. I guess for a common folk, you'd have to like win the lottery or maybe Keno.
Yeah.
And
how much money have you ever won in Keno?
The first time I ever played Keno, $1, the first time I won $75.
Oh, really? Oh, you.
I haven't won shit after that. Like I'll win like $2 or $5. I normally don't win my money back.
Yeah.
And if I do, it's like $5 a head. You know what I mean? Like I don't win anything. So maybe I should take the strategy from this mother and son duo. I've read this article. A mother and son in Massachusetts recently won 3 $100,000 prizes by picking the same numbers. Trisha Johnson, she's 59, a waitress from East Falmouth, initially won $100,000 during the Keno drawing on back in March 22nd by picking consecutive numbers 1 through 10.
What? Like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 weeks later, she used the same numbers on April 11th and once again won $100,000.
That's fucking awesome. Did she figure something out? Or
I don't know.
She just got fucking lucky.
The crazy thing is, Trisha's son, John Johnson, decided to try his mother's tactic.
Hey, that's an awful name. John Johnson.
And he also won $100,000.
Just by doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is the lottery that many numbers?
The Keno.
Oh,
Keno's
okay,
like 75.
I got you. Yeah, that's fucking. Well, I guess
Keno is 80 numbers.
Guess where I'm going on the way home. I'm stopping by, playing a little Keno at a gas station.
Hell yeah,
dude, that's fucking wild.
I'm gonna try that next time.
Yeah.
If I play Keno, I either do 2 numbers or 3 numbers because they have like decent odds.
Yeah.
I still fucking I don't win.
Yeah, I always try to pick the same. I always hate when you like pick it and then right before you'll see like your number, the game before, like your number, and you're like,
damn it.
If it would have been mine, I would have won $100 or whatever it is. Do you remember that show Pressure with the whammies?
Yeah. The guy figured it out.
Yeah, he like figured out the pattern. Like once it hit one corner, like where it was going to hit next,
and he crushed him.
It was one of the coolest things. If you can probably find it on YouTube. Just type in pressure luck.
No whammies. Stop.
And remember, because the first is that little fucking demon thing. Yeah. And the first time he did it, he fucked up. Like he got a whammy on it because he didn't have the timing right. But then he just was.
He was dialed in. He dialed it in,
crushing it. And fucking, I think he won. I don't know what it was.
He won the most out of. Like that has ever.
I think
done.
it was like over $1 million or something crazy like that.
And it was like back in the day because that's an old game show.
Yeah. And he just fucking won it. But then that dude just decided to like spin that shit off. And there was like a drawing they used to do where like if you had a certain serial number on your dollar bill, you would win like you'd win $100,000 or something. So he got all his money converted to like $1 bills. So he had like 1 million $1 bills.
He had $1 million.
I think I don't know what the exact amount was, but say he had $1 million. He just got them all in $1 bill. He's got all that money in his fucking house, and he's just doing that. And guess what do you think happened to him? He got fucking robbed. And they took all his money.
Oh, what an idiot!
I always love that. Because you always have that fantasy, like if you like with Keno or lottery or things like that. Like, what would you do? If you
when it gets real big, like when it gets up
everybody
to
fucking
like $1 billion.
Yeah, when it gets to $1 billion, like how much would you spend on a house If you had $1 billion, and so
I mean, if I had a bill, see,
a take home, so the take home would be like, I don't know, like
half,
500.
if you live in Maryland, it's like half. They take half of it.
They would take half of it. So you have $500 million. How much do you put towards a house? What's the first thing you buy? Let me ask that.
I know this sounds stupid, but I probably wouldn't buy another house.
You just live where you live?
I live where I live.
Okay, done. Okay.
And here's why. Every house I've ever bought, my wife and I have kind of bounced around, and we bought a house, sell a house, buy a. We've never been friends with the neighbors.
Yeah.
And in this neighborhood, like, we're friends with all the neighbors, and they have kids, and we all hang out.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So, like, I could go buy you win $500 million or whatever.
Yeah.
You can buy whatever house you want, and
Yeah.
typically most people buy this huge house that's gated.
Yeah.
And what fun is that?
Would you put something in your house? Would you add something?
I would do some shit ton of landscaping.
Fucking landscaping.
Yeah. I mean, I would do all kind of, like, just eloquent gardens and shit.
Would you do fountains?
Fountains.
I would definitely have a fountain. Like,
I would get a statue of me.
I would
With,
get
like,
a
the little pee-pee?
I would get you a statue of you too, like that. Yeah, like the bumper sticker where the kid's looking over his shoulder, pissing on something.
Right.
I would have you pissing into a churchgoer's mouth.
Yeah. And, I always thought growing up, I'd buy a Lamborghini. That would be my big splurge.
Yeah.
But now, as I get older, it's weird because I think, like, I go, okay, I buy a Lamborghini just because. But you know what I really want? Because I'm like entering my midlife crisis, and I'm like, maybe I'll buy a Lamborghini for like 2 years, ride it around, like a Gallardo or something, like maybe like a 2015 Gallardo. You can get them for like maybe 120, 130.
I like that you know the exact price. It said you priced it out before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I think I would do? I want one of those old school, just souped up Volkswagen buses.
Oh, like the one in like Little Miss Sunshine kind of thing.
Yeah, like nice paint job,
like a hippie one.
Yeah, but like actually hippie ones are kind of like rusted a little bit. A bunch of stickers all over them. I would want one like a nice new paint job, like a two-tone blue, white, all leather interior, like nice sound system, like just souped up. I think I'd buy one of them.
Yeah,
they're just more fun. Like I occasionally see Lamborghinis, right, driving down 95 or whatever. And they do nothing for me. Like, I always look at, and I'm like, you kind of go douchebag.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I understand where you're coming from, but yeah.
But if I had one, I wouldn't feel like a douchebag driving it. But I feel like when I see one, it doesn't give me good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see somebody rolling up in a Volkswagen bus, you're like, that dude's fun as shit. Let me go cruising around with this motherfucker.
Yeah. So I would legit. I would get. Oh, I don't even know what if I was to buy a car. If I won the lottery and I could get any car in the world. You know what I would buy? I'd fucking buy an El Camino.
Like a Project El Camino or one that's fixed up, like souped up.
So I would buy an El Camino, and then I would hire Exhibit to come to my house.
Popcorn maker in it.
I'd hire Exhibit to come to my house and the custom guys and put on my own episode of Pimp My Ride and have.
So you do Pimp Steve's Ride.
Yeah, I do Pimp Steve's Ride, and then I'd shoot the whole episode and have them build my car. And put a fucking popcorn machine in there.
West Coast Customs.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. It wasn't
East Coast Customs.
Yeah, and I would like. I don't know. I'd have a fucking water slide in it or something.
They're like, Steve, you do a podcast, right? Here's the biggest microphone in the world strapped to your hood.
I would.
That works as a horn.
Yeah. Your back, you can use it to carry plywood, or it can be in hot tub.
Right.
I would do something fucking stupid like that. Probably spend like $200,000 on
El Camino.
On El Camino. We'll hire an Exhibit because it can't be that expensive now.
Yeah, not anymore. Exhibit's probably like pretty cheap.
Remember all those fucking cars like on Pimp My Ride?
They all fell apart.
Yeah, they all.
Half of them didn't work and shit. Like they didn't do any engine
they
work.
didn't run.
And some of them they took the shit out before they gave them to them. You ever read like the nightmare stories of them?
No.
Like a lot of times shit didn't work. Or they like the EKG machine they took out. Oh, you're a nurse? Here's an EKG machine. Like, that's what it was. They put a fucking EKG machine, and they're like, "Who the fuck? What's an EKG machine?"
Oh, you're a trash man. Guess what? We got some dog shit bags in the back for you.
It's just amazing, and we all watched the show, and we're like, "Oh, that's cool." Even if it was so ridiculous, we're like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, I'd want that. You know?
Right.
I think going back to the lottery thing. I always wonder about. Would you tell anyone?
Not a chance.
Yeah, like I feel like you can't tell
because you would
anybody.
lose all your friends.
Yeah, because everybody would try to be like
Right.
hey,
Like if I give this person a little bit of money and I don't give this person, or like, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna be.
I'll make this promise. If I win the lottery, we will have the mics on the stand that like drop down from here.
We're gonna upgrade our equipment.
Upgrade our equipment. Yeah, we'll hire someone to edit.
How about this? I'll build an official soundproof studio.
All right. Yeah. How about I'll just pay someone to do it? You don't even need to do it yourself.
Oh, but the fun is doing it.
Oh, okay.
I like doing that shit.
Yeah. I like how that you wanted to get fucking landscaping.
I'm a big landscaper.
I always wanted a pool that would go in your house and out your house.
Yeah, I feel like that would be cool. Where it has like you can swim under the little thing.
Yeah,
Or maybe that thing
like,
lifts up or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, and then you go into your house. And a TV that lifts up out of the ground where it shouldn't go out of the ground. I always wanted one of those stupid things.
I mean, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there would be signs. There would be little subtle details in my life that you're like,
all your neighbors would come around and you're like, why is fucking exhibit there?
I think I would make movies.
Well, that's the quickest way to lose that fucking money.
Yeah, but I mean, you have some play money, right?
Yeah.
Throw a couple million and
you become like an investor in movies, or you would want to be
I
direct.
would want to pay someone to write my screenplays.
And you just like tell them what to.
Yeah, like I got like 7 movies that I have to finish writing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll never be done.
Yeah,
like I'll
yeah,
never
yeah.
be done. I need somebody that will actually write. So hey, any of our listeners, if you're a good writer, team up with me. Give me a call.
Yeah. You
Reach
can
out.
write some screenplays. I can't even think of the
Well,
fucking
you know
word.
what? Let's go back to last week. Maybe I can reach out to Bill Amos.
I
Or
guarantee.
the Limo Bill undercover assassin.
I
Put me in touch with Ron Howard.
Yeah. Like call them 4 Ron Howard's numbers.
Right.
My wife, going back to that real quick though, about
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago when we were talking about Limo Bill, my wife was saying that she could instantly picture who would play Limo Bill.
Oh.
So she, right off the bat, she said, "I know who would be Limo Bill."
Now I don't know who Bill is, but I feel was he a black guy?
No, he's a white guy.
White guy.
Yeah, he was a white guy.
Okay.
Kinda looked like the son of Sam.
Jeez.
The glass, like the pedophile glasses kind of thing.
Like the Unabomber?
Yeah, no, maybe not that. I don't know. He had a weird look. He looked like
he
he
is an
smelled like
assassin.
cigarettes.
Okay.
He didn't smell like it there.
Did he have
but,
the old man short sleeve button up on?
I think he had a Hawaiian shirt.
A Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, he had a Hawaiian shirt on. Thinking of books and stuff like that. Remember that one summer? Like what was that book we were all about? And they were they made a movie about it. It was about the guy that
Tucker,
had sex with Tucker Max.
I hope they serve beer in hell.
Yes.
God, that was a good pull. Jesus, where'd that come from?
That's good. Remember, we were so fucking pumped about that book for like a summer.
We were the demographic for that.
Yeah,
book.
we were like we were probably all the same age as the guy in the book.
And if anyone didn't read that book, I would say early 20s is probably when it came out.
Yeah.
When we read it. And it was basically about this asshole. And he would probably, I would say he's an asshole.
I think he even
in real
called
life.
himself an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he is a guy that I wouldn't hang out with, like a douchebag.
Yes.
He reminded me of, and I don't even know if he went to college, but like a frat boy douchebag.
Yes.
Is what he was. And he just wrote about his sexcapades.
Yep.
Basically.
He had sex with like a deaf girl and would yell at her while he was having sex with her.
Yeah, like how he picked up this girl and what he did with her. The only thing that I thought was funny, and it's not funny, but he would rate the sex with that girl based off of if it was a 2-roper. Or,
how many
5-roper,
yeah.
which is how many spurts of jizz he would.
Dude,
jizz
there's
on her.
zero chance nowadays that book would ever like
No
see
way,
the light of day
no
now.
way. And some of them were like, it was entertaining enough, but
It did get old. Like you were tired of hearing like
it was the same. Like essentially, it's the same story.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the names changed. Maybe it's a brunette. Maybe it's a blonde. The scenario where he met her, whatever. But like it was the same story.
Yeah. But yeah, and then they made a movie about it, and
Did anybody ever watch it? Because I didn't even.
I watched it. I mean, I don't even remember it.
It's got to be the worst thing ever.
I should find it on Letterboxd, put it on Stevie's Movie Corner.
Where is Tucker Max now?
Probably jail with the what's the guy who would always get the girls to lift up their girls going wild guy? They're probably both in jail.
He's that guy. I tell you what, you couldn't come back from the bar and turn on your TV without seeing Girls Gone Wild, like
That's
like a
true
documentary.
fact.
Like it was the longest commercial. They were like half-hour long commercials.
Yeah, they were like infomercials.
They were like infomercials.
And it would just be for you to buy to
Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah, just girl. If you don't know what it is for some reason, it was just girls lifting up their shirts over and over again.
Yeah.
And
They
then
would go to college parties in college towns and just do that.
it's weird how like there was like that time frame where it's just like shit like that was like
That you could do that.
So you could
Because
do
now
that.
now nobody cares because there's so much on the internet. But that was like right in the cusp of where somebody would buy a DVD. You know what I mean? Like no one's buying the DVD of that anymore.
I know. We bought a DVD for a thing called Bum Fights, and
I've heard of that. Yeah.
yeah, and it was to think about it like now that I'm older, it's a fucking awful. I'm embarrassed I owned it.
I owned one. I don't even think it was a DVD. I think it was a VHS.
Mine was a VHS.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know we have at least 40% of our listeners know who this woman is. Wifey's World.
Oh, yeah.
I bought one of her VHSs.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was a VHS and not a DVD player. Although I
God.
could be wrong, but
In a
I
white
feel
box.
like it was a VHS.
That's so funny. You know,
I wish I could. I couldn't even play it now if I even had it.
you remember like video stores when they would have, they were not Blockbuster, but you had those like local video
Right,
stores
like the
that-
one-off ones.
Yeah, and remember they always had that back room that had like
The back room.
the back room, 18 or older. It had like the Spencer bead things that
Right,
would hang
right, right.
down that you would walk like, and everyone could hear when they would you would go
Would you
back.
go back?
You
Yep.
would go back there, but I wasn't old enough to go back there when it was I snuck back there when like my dad would take us to the video store or whatever, and then I would like run,
Right,
back,
yeah.
like peek my head back there just to see what it is. But and then when I turned 18, I think like they were all gone. Like I never
probably
got,
like Blockbuster and all them swallowed up.
yeah, they swallowed them all up, so they
were.
were all Blockbusters or closed
So
down.
then they just went straight to the adult store.
Yeah, yeah.
you could pretend that you were going
Yeah.
to get a legit
But-
video.
Never got to experience that in my life of walking into a video store and then going into that back little naughty
I think
corner.
I probably did it a couple times, but what was funny, reliving that, whenever I would go to one of those stores, not to go back into that, but to get a regular movie,
Yeah.
you would see guys, they would never go straight to the back. They would act like they would walk around like the perimeter to look like they were going to get a legit movie, and then kind of just like, oh, what is this? Maybe I'll take a gander in here. You know what I mean? Like they weren't going there for that directly anyway.
Yes. It is. I remember going to oh God, it's so stupid, but people would I remember I went into like an adult store one time, and the parking lot was like completely full of cars, and then when you walked in
It's empty
it was empty, and
because
I was like,
they were all in the back.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like, but I was with like Eric and this was E-Rock, and him and I were like, dude, there's nobody in here. We were like trying to see what was going on, because there was like a big like there was just a parking lot was like crowded, and there was nobody in there, and I was like, oh, there was like a movie theater.
That's one thing I've never done. I've never really had the interest to do that because I feel like that is just. I feel like that's weird.
Yeah, so do I.
Okay. Like who does that with so much free stuff on the internet? Why would you drive somewhere, park, and then you can't go straight. You got to get like the tokens from the dude or something.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
so you
yeah.
got to go like you have to have a human interaction to get your arcade tokens.
Wouldn't you?
And then go in the back.
And wouldn't you feel? I would feel like I'd be judged by everybody. I don't think.
I mean, yes.
It's why those guys didn't go straight back to that thing.
Right.
They were embarrassed about it. So.
But to be that clerk and to see people come in, I'd be like, why the fuck are you here? Like, jerk off in your car. Like, do something else. Like, why are you coming here and watch a weird porn?
You know why? Because they probably. Well, why? They could just find. I was going to say they could just watch. They wanted to see it like another. Maybe they would like be able to watch another guy doing it or something weird like that. But you could just see that on the fucking internet.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You always hear that those things have glory holes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a myth or not. I don't really know. But I feel like they're probably
They have to be real.
Yeah.
If
I think that just passed me by. It's just something that just never
appealed to you.
No, because I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole.
This would be an hour-long podcast if we went down this rabbit hole.
My most awkward moment in one of those shops was downtown in Fells Point. There used to be one, and I don't know if they're still like. It was a rather famous one. Like not famous, but like if I remember, if you told me the name, I was like, oh yeah. But anyway, we went in there, my girlfriend and I, and she wanted to purchase a lady toy. So and it's awkward anyway, right? I mean, I think hands down, it's pretty awkward if you're in there.
Yeah.
So she takes it up to the counter, and the lady behind the counter is like, let me test it. Pops it out of the box, puts batteries in it, and is like, buzzing it. And like
the fists flopping around.
and like, oh, feel this. And then was like, oh, let me show you this new one. And then like pop that one up from behind the counter and wanted like to compare vibrations of and I'm like, ghost face white, Just like give me the fuck, like I wanted to throw money down and just roll out, you know what I mean? Like here she's like testing them out on the counter and shit.
She's like this is like the RPMs of a boat motor.
Right. This one takes diesel. Yeah, and then that's why Amazon took over everything.
Yeah, I know. Think of how much you'd have to be like like that's the store you wanted to open. You're like, I want to open up a business. I want to open up a one with glory holes and movies and up there. And then
I feel like the owner has a pencil thin mustache.
Yeah,
He's like looks like John Waters if he did crack.
Yes. And you remember like in 7?
I don't remember 7. I only watched it when I was drunk.
Yeah, I don't know why I go 2 weeks in a row. I bring up 7, but
I remember watching it.
But in it, they go into a sex store, and the person that was like behind the counter, I was like, that's the guy. I don't know.
I do remember the sex store.
Like sweaty, like he's sweaty all the time.
Yes. What was that movie with Nicolas Cage?
8mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Machine.
I saw that in the movie theater and was freaked the fuck out. That movie was awesome, and just when I left there, I'm like, I was fully convinced that there's legit snuff films.
Yeah, I was like, somewhere there's people making...
And I'm sure there are, right? Like somewhere somebody there has to be something. I mean, there's a kink for everything.
Yeah.
And with the dark web, I mean, I'm sure you get everything. But like, I was just mind blown.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was watching a documentary when I was watching that.
Yeah, I remember you would come out of the movie, like movies like that. You come out and you're like, "That's about true life." Like, there's really,
it just
like,
it
remember
just
they
changed
had,
my fucking world.
They had that like underground porn like flea market that they would go to.
Right.
And that's when they were trying to find like this. And remember Nicolas Cage every time they'd be like, "What do you want here?" And they're like, "We got bestiality, we got child videos, we got this." And he's like, "Snuff," and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Right. Like, I'm drawing the line, buddy.
I'm drawing the line, not bestiality or child shit. It's fucking snuff.
Happy summer, everyone.
Yeah, I know. Happy anniversary, Jim. All right. Well, follow us on all social media platforms at Inappropriate with Jim and Steve. Give us a call at 856-THE-JJSS. Leave us a review if you are feeling froggy, or even if you're not feeling froggy and your app does give you an option for reviews, just do it.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. And I guess that's gonna wrap it up for this week. So, it's gonna wrap it up for this week.
We're gonna wrap it up this week.
For Inappropriate, I'm Steve.
I'm Jim.